Welcome, I'm your host, Logan23. You're joining me for Weight of the World Chapter 1. The graphics were completely redone as well as some of the stories, so that's why we're going back through. It's a bright springtime morning on your family's farm. A few puffy clouds meander overhead, casting just the right amount of shade on your favorite resting spot. It's not much, but it's home. You hear the faint echo of your best friend calling your name. Naomi, wake up! Naomi! Naomi, hey! You can't just sleep out here all day. It's so warm out, I'll... Get up. Okay, quit shouting at me. I wouldn't want to have to shout if you didn't sleep like a log. I was having such a good dream, though. Good like monsters attacking the town, or good like aliens stealing you away. What? Is that the kind of stuff you dream about? Nah, I usually dream that I forgot to wear pants to school, or that I called the teacher Mom. Mr. Lee doesn't look anything like your mom. You only think that 'cause you've never seen her without makeup. I promise, they could be twins. Or maybe it's because I haven't seen Mr. Lee in a dress before. Well, maybe he's got one right now. We're missing it, so I had to come find you all the way out here in the middle of nowhere. It's too nice of a day to be stuck in school anyways. Good riddance. We can't skip school, Naomi. Just the two of us is nearly half the class. Oh, you know I'm kidding. Let's get going. You hop up from the patch of soft grass and brush the dirt off your dress. Top layer of dirt, at least. School clothes, play clothes, it's all the same when money's tight and boy is it ever tight. The two of you set off down the road. We don't. He wheezes. Have to run. Your lungs burn with the effort, and your legs feel like noodles, but somehow you're still flying forward along the path. You jerk. Mika's frantic sprinting fades to a light jog, and he looks over his shoulder at you. Only a slowpoke says stuff like that. Do you want to hear Mr. Lee go on and on about how... He gives his best Mr. Lee impression, complete with a calm, even voice and half a smile, as both of you reach the schoolhouse door. It's better to be 3 hours too early than a single minute late. You're absolutely right, Mika. I'll have to take my own advice next time. Oh, sorry, Mr. Lee. I didn't see you there. 11 kids collapse into a fit of giggles, and the entire class, not including Mika, slinks his way to the front of the room, and his face glowing with shame. Weird. I can't ever think I've ever seen Mr. Lee come late to class before. The room falls quiet as Mr. Lee strolls to the chalkboard. You take your seat and settle in as his throat clears. Now, we're all here and ready to learn. Let's get started. Good morning, class. Good morning, Mr. Lee, rings out back at his cue. Does anyone have questions about last night's homework? Homework was tough, but what I really should ask is... why Mr. Lee was late. Raise your hand and try to get Mr. Lee's attention. Yes, Naomi? What were you doing before the bell rang? Let's see here. No, I don't see anything about me on last night's homework. Are you sure you're on the right page? The entire class groans at once. He's always dodging personal questions like that. Ever since he arrived in town, the mysterious Mr. Lee has been tight-lipped about his life. Please tell us, Mr. Lee. You always get to lecture us if we're late, so what do we get if you who's late? You're always the one saying, this one's room's goal is too small for secrets, right? Oh no! When did I become mother hen to such sneaky hatchlings? I'm ashamed to call myself a good teacher if all you've learned is how to tease poor old geezers like me. He pretends to turn away in shame, but you hear the gentle scritch of chalk tapping at the blackboard. Physics. It's my worst subject. This is so boring. I'll tell him... I love science, screw you! I will take physics over history any day. Science is for nerds, and nerds are cool, screw it. Mr. Lee, isn't this the kind of thing for eggheads and scientists? I'm never going to use these facts and formulas when I'm a grown-up. That is incorrect. You'd be surprised at what knowledge might come in the handy in the future, Naomi. He jumps right into a lesson, something about some Newton guy. God damn it, I hate you for this. By the time he's done, you're starting to fall asleep in your chair. On that note, how about we break for an early recess? Come back in 15 minutes. Everyone flies out the door to get some air. During recess, you all try to brainstorm new ways to stay one step ahead of Mr. Lee's crafty lessons. How about the next time he says something weird, we all just make fart sounds until he starts laughing and can't keep lecturing? Presses his hands to his face and blows a huge raspberry to the delight of your classmates. One boy laughs so hard he snorts like a pig, sending half the class in even wilder fits of giggles. Gross. I've got a better idea. We should... We'll just try... Mika, quit it. I'm just saying, the Mika technique has a 100% chance rate so far. Boys, anyway, what should we do? Convince him to teach something fun. Look, guys, I heard there's a comet passing over tonight. If we tell Mr. Lee about how much we'd love to learn about outer space and the stars, he'll have to watch it. I get it. If he says yes, it means we get to spend the rest of the day outside. The rest of the class chimes in with approval, and you work together to come up with a plan. Mr. Lee calls in the class, but before you can put your plan into motion, he does something completely unexpected. He picks up a piece of chalk and drags it across the board. When he steps aside, the board reads, Comet Viewing Party. The energy of the entire room shoots up on level, and you hear excited gossip from the crowd. Mika turns to you with some of his own. Hey, weren't we just going to try and get him to do that? Do you think this means we all get to stay here until night instead of going home to do chores? I hope so. All right, class, settle down. I knew this was going to get a big reaction, but I didn't know it would all be this exciting for you all. In a few minutes, I'll release you for the day. After the sun goes down, I want each of you to make your way here for a special nighttime class. Something pretty amazing is happening in the sky, and I want all of you to be here when it does. Coughs lightly before setting up the final plans for the night. With that, he sets the class free, and you and Mika rush home to prepare for the night. Night falls shortly after you finish your evening chores, and your group makes their way back to the schoolhouse. Yes, it's cold out. I should have brought a jacket. Look, Mr. Lee's already here. Do you think he lives close by? I don't know what to think about Mr. Lee anymore. He's so odd today. I may be an old man, but I can still hear you, Naomi. Oh, come off it, Mr. Lee. I bet you're what, like 30? Sorry, Teach. You can't see it now, class, but in a few minutes, something amazing will happen. Is the world gonna end? No, Mika, but the world will seem very small for a moment. When you see the comet overhead, I want you to think about how far away it is, how big it is, and how far it's traveled in that great big universe out there. I should ask where the comet came from, when the comet will come back, how fast the comet is going. Let's ask. How did the comet get here, Mr. Lee? Great question, Naomi. Comets circle the sun, just like Earth. So, come on, Mr. Lee. Are you really going to make us spend the whole night learning this stuff? May not seem important now, but one day all this knowledge will come in handy. I doubt it. Suddenly a beautiful comet shoots across the sky. You and your friends look on in awe. It's so pretty, but... Mr. Lee, what's the light? Well, the comet has a tail of ice and gases that are melting off, and it... No, the other light. The bright, flashing one. Can't you see it? Something's going on up there. Don't be crazy, Naomi. It's just, what is it exactly, Mr. Lee? Ah, I'm afraid that. Well, I don't know what that is, children. Should we be afraid of it? No, of course not. It's probably nothing. I've got a bad feeling about the light. Huh, so that's how much they've changed it up. Okay, alright. With that being said, hope y'all did enjoy the video. Feel free to like, comment, share, or subscribe. It looks like we're off to an interesting start from where we started off when it first came out. No graphics changes from what I can tell on the first chapter, but I did, like, when I first came back to it, when they updated to Chapter 5, the details beyond that were actually quite changed. So we'll see that, and I'm assuming Chapter 2 beyond. So until then, head down in the description below. There's a few links to social media, a Discord that you can hang out with me as well as others, and a few links to support me and my content. It's greatly appreciated. Otherwise, hit that like and share button. And until next time, stay well, stay awesome, and I'll catch you all later. Thanks for watching.